Once upon a time, in a small village in India, there lived a hen named Chameli. She had beautiful golden feathers that shimmered in the sunlight, and she was known throughout the village for her loud voice and quick tongue. Chameli lived in a cozy coop behind the house of a kind farmer named Ramu. She shared her home with several other hens, but Chameli always believed she was special. After all, she laid the biggest eggs and had the prettiest feathers. However, there was one problem with Chameli. She never admitted when she was wrong. Every morning, all the hens would wake up early to peck for grains in the yard. Ramu would scatter food for them, and they would happily eat together. But Chameli always wanted the best spot and the most grains. One day, as the hens were eating, Chameli accidentally knocked over the water pot. Water spilled everywhere, making the ground muddy and wet. The other hens stepped back, their feet getting dirty. "Who did this?" asked Pinky, a small brown hen. Chameli looked at the mess and quickly said, "It was not me." Pinky must have done it with her clumsy feet. Pinky's eyes filled with tears. "But I was standing far away. I did not touch the pot." "Then it must be the wind," Chameli declared, walking away with her head held high. The next day, Ramu gave the hens fresh straw to make their nests comfortable. Chameli was in such a hurry to make the biggest nest that she scattered straw everywhere. The coop looked messy and untidy. "Chameli, please clean this up," said Ramu gently. "It was not my fault," Chameli squawked. "The other hens were running around and made this mess." The other hens looked at each other sadly. They knew Chameli was lying, but they stayed quiet. Days passed, and Chameli's habit of blaming others grew worse. When she broke an egg by sitting carelessly, she blamed it on a crow. When she forgot to return to the coop at night and got wet in the rain, she blamed Ramu for not calling her. Nothing was ever her fault. The other hens slowly stopped talking to Chameli. They were tired of being blamed for things they did not do. Even kind Ramu began to feel sad whenever Chameli spoke. One sunny afternoon, a wise old rooster named Koka came to visit the village. He had traveled far and wide and had seen many things. Koka had a gentle heart and sharp eyes that could see the truth in every situation. When Koka arrived at the coop, he noticed something strange. All the hens were sitting together on one side, chatting happily. But Chameli sat alone on the other side, preening her golden feathers. "Why do you sit alone, beautiful hen?" Koka asked Chameli. Chameli huffed. "These hens do not appreciate me. They are jealous of my feathers and my eggs. It is not my fault they do not like me." Koka nodded slowly. "I see. And have you ever done anything to upset them?" "Never," Chameli said quickly. "I am perfect. If there are problems, it is always because of others." Koka smiled wisely. "Would you like to hear a story?" Chameli was bored sitting alone, so she agreed. Koka began. Long ago, there was a beautiful peacock who lived in a forest. He had the most magnificent tail, and he was very proud. One day, the peacock's carelessness caused a small fire in the forest. But instead of admitting his mistake, he blamed a little rabbit. The other animals chased the innocent rabbit away. Chameli listened, her head tilted. "But the truth has a way of coming out," Koka continued. Soon, all the animals discovered that the peacock had lied. They were so angry that they stopped talking to him. The peacock became lonely. He had beautiful feathers but no friends. He realized that his pride and his lies had cost him everything he truly needed: love and friendship. Chameli shifted uncomfortably on her feet. "What happened to the peacock?" she asked quietly. "He learned a valuable lesson," Koka said. "He went to each animal and owned his mistake. He said sorry for lying and for causing harm. It was not easy, but slowly, the animals forgave him. And the peacock learned that admitting mistakes does not make you small. It makes you strong and respectable." Chameli looked down at her feet. For the first time, she felt a strange heaviness in her heart. That night, Chameli could not sleep. She kept thinking about Koka's story. She remembered all the times she had blamed others, Pinky, the other hens, even Ramu. She remembered the hurt in their eyes and the way they had slowly moved away from her. Tears rolled down her feathers. Chameli realized she had been so afraid of looking bad that she had hurt everyone around her. She had been so proud of her golden feathers that she forgot to have a golden heart. As the sun rose the next morning, Chameli made a decision. She walked to where the other hens were gathered. "Friends," she said in a soft voice they had never heard before, "I need to talk to you." The hens looked at her with surprise. Chameli took a deep breath. "I am sorry. I am sorry for blaming you for things you did not do. I spilled the water. I made the mess with the straw. I was careless with the egg. It was me, not you. I was wrong and I hurt you all. Please forgive me." There was silence. Then Pinky, the small brown hen, stepped forward. "Chameli, we always wanted to be your friend. We just wanted you to be honest." Tears filled Chameli's eyes. "I was afraid that if I admitted my mistakes, everyone would think I was not special anymore." "But Chameli," said another hen named Guddy, "everyone makes mistakes. We do not think less of you for making them. We think less of you for not owning them." Chameli nodded, understanding the truth in those words. From that day forward, Chameli changed. When she knocked over the grain bowl, she said, "I am sorry, that was my fault." When she accidentally stepped on another hen's foot, she said, "Forgive me, I was not watching where I walked." At first, it felt strange to admit her mistakes. But soon, Chameli noticed something wonderful. The other hens began talking to her again. They shared stories and laughed together. Ramu smiled at her warmly. Even little chicks came to sit near her. Chameli realized that she felt lighter and happier than ever before. Her golden feathers still shimmered. But now she had something more precious, true friends and a peaceful heart. Old Koka visited again after some weeks. He saw Chameli sitting with all the hens, chatting and laughing. "You look happy, Chameli," he said with a knowing smile. "I am, Koka," Chameli replied. "I learned that owning my mistakes does not make me weak. It makes me strong. It makes me real. And it brings people closer to me, not farther away." Koka nodded. "You have learned the greatest lesson of all. A mistake is not the end of the story. How we handle it writes the next chapter." From that day on, Chameli became known not just for her golden feathers, but for her golden heart and her courage to always speak the truth, especially when the truth was about her own mistakes. And the village hens lived happily together, teaching everyone that real strength lies not in being perfect, but in being honest, humble and kind.